Hey, joining us now on the MARR Army Rock Show. It's good to have our friend Scotty Dunbar calling from Boston. He is a solo artist, and he's also the D in DMK. Scotty, welcome to the show.
Hey, what's going on? Thanks for having me. I appreciate it. And thanks for all your support. You guys are awesome.
Hey, man, anytime. So let's jump right into things. Tell us about the new single you just released now.
Well, yes, it's a 20th Century Boy. It's a cover of a old Mark Bolan T-Rex song. But basically what I did was I had gone into the studio. I recorded about 5 new solo tracks, one of them being a cover, the other 4 being original. And I just chose to go with the cover first as it, it was fun. And my solo band, we've been playing it out live for about a year and a half now. So as far as recording that one in the studio, we just had a really good time, and it was fun. It was a good atmosphere, great, good time all around. So I chose to go with that one first, and then I will be releasing the other 4 over the next several months. When it doesn't interfere with the stuff with DMK. So.
Yeah, so we'll talk about the DMK stuff in just a minute, but I did notice with your solo act, it looks like you have some kind of like a charity gig coming up on February 28th, a support for a young girl named Emma. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay, yes, my solo band, we're going to be doing a one-off show on February 28th in Worcester, Mass. It's called Rockin' for Emma. And she's a beautiful 6-year-old girl. She's battling cancer for the 2nd time. So we'll be performing at that event. And I might be doing a few solo shows here and there. Not too sure yet, because it all depends on the whole schedule with DMK, because we go into the studio the 2nd week of February. We start recording. And we, going to get everything out in time for our first show, which is April 2nd at the Whiskey A Go-Go in West Hollywood, California. So that's where we're going to start things off. So
yeah, man, so lots to talk about there. So just real quickly, let's go ahead. That's a good segue. Let's move into that. So I want to ask about the studio, but go ahead and talk a little bit about the, I guess it's a full tour. So you just mentioned it starts April 2nd, and you're playing with some pretty cool people at that show at the Whiskey A Go-Go, I think.
Yeah, we're playing with Michael Sweet of Striper and, Mike Tramp of White Lion. So that'll be the first show. We're booking everything now, as far as like the East Coast stuff goes, a few like Midwest dates and stuff like that. So, basically we're just going to go out and have our A game on. So, and
it's a good place to start, man. Getting started to open with acts like that, man. That's a pretty good launch to DMK, I would say.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I've played the Whiskey before solo, but I'm really looking forward to playing it with the band and kicking things off there. We released that Christmas single, "Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas." It was definitely different. It was, a kind of like a bluesy take on that song, but the stuff that's coming out, is straight ahead hard rock, and I hope people will like it.
Yeah, now I've had Teddy Merrill from DMK, the M in DMK on the show, so I've got 2 persons on the show now. And so tell us a little bit about, from your perspective about the forming of this band and what it meant and how it came together.
Well, basically with Ted, with his former band like Mark 22, my solo band, we were doing a show in Boston, and Mark was on the bill. And then the following weekend, I was playing in Baltimore at the House of Rock, and Mark was on that bill too. And Ted and I just totally hit it off. And what happened was, when I started, I did a East Coast tour with my solo band, opening for Eric Martin and Mr. Big. And I wanted to bring in a second guitar player. with my band. And so, Ted was, my first choice. I reached out to Ted about it. He agreed on it on the spot. And him and we had the best time on that tour. We were like brothers. So it was just, and something was we're definitely going to start up, a project, a band, whatever you want to call it. Ted had a really busy schedule this past summer, with him touring with, playing guitar for Charm City Devils and stuff. So once the schedules calmed down, the guys came up to Boston and, we recorded that Christmas single. And it was fun. It was great atmosphere, but like I said, it was a different take on a song because most of the versions you hear of that tune are very happy, but if you look at the lyrics, they're really not that happy.
Yeah, they really aren't.
So we just, Ted came up with like a, kind of like a bluesy version, which, it was different for me. It was different for Brian, but we had fun doing it. But the stuff that will be coming out, that's already written is, it's just full on rock. So got a couple ballads and, some really, good rock and roll stuff.
So speaking of ballads, I want to ask you about one of your solo tunes that I was kind of drawn to. Tell me a little bit about Tears in the City. Tell me about that song.
Well, Tears in the City, that's actually a song that was written by Jerry Dixon of Warrant. And I was signed to their label Down Boys. And basically with that single, it was something that was completely different, but my whole outlook with music is, I love all kinds of music. Of course, Hear bands is what I'm drawn to. That's what I was brought up on. But I can go from listening to Queen to Pantera, in 2 seconds. So it's just my musical tastes are all over the map. So with Tears in the City, I just wanted to do something that I never did before. So I did a duet with this very talented, beautiful girl. Her name's AMJ. And I mean, it was something totally different. I didn't know whether people were going to like it or be like, what are you doing, dude? But, it was fun to do because I was able to get that out of my system, and just show a different style where it wasn't, straight ahead rock and roll,
So, man, we just saw you by the way, it's a really cool tune. I really like it. You did a great job on it, so, and I'm right there with you, man. Our musical tastes are all over the place, so, yeah, no apologies there. Now, you do a lot of live music yourself. I mean, we most recently saw you up at that gig up in New York City that you were there watching, and I saw you really seem to be excited about the Extreme show you just went to.
Yeah, dude, for me, going back to that show where I saw you at with Santa Cruz, that was just amazing. I haven't been to a show like that in so long, and that's all I do is go to shows because that's what rock and roll is my life, It's I love to be in a concert setting. If I'm not in a concert setting, I'm watching a show, it's writing music, it's listening to albums, That's my life. Rock and roll is, it's what is in my blood. It's 100% of me. So seeing a band like Santa Cruz that I was a fan of anyways, the energy that was in that room was just unbelievable. And I haven't seen a band with so much energy or crowd like that in a small club in over a decade. That was just unbelievable.
It sure was.
And as far as Extreme goes, I mean, those are, my Boston peeps. So the hometown band, and they've just been rocking it, and Porn of Graffiti is one of my favorite albums of all time. And, to hear that from start to finish, and they're just, they're just amazing. So, and they're just such an incredible live band. It's like, so I saw them last night in Maine, and then the night before in Connecticut. But last night was just absolutely incredible.
Well, Scotty, man, we enjoy, first of all, seeing you, when you're in the crowd at shows. We definitely, we look forward to seeing DMK for the first time. I know you said there'll be some East Coast dates, and we're going to be keeping our eye out for that. Any idea, a ballpark on the release for some DMK stuff that we can hear?
Yeah, as far as the DMK stuff, we stopped recording the second week of February, so we'll finish all that stuff up within, a 2-week period, and then it'll be off to get, manufactured, and, we will be putting it out, like, on CD, and obviously all the digital stuff. So, you'll see that, like, towards the end of March, released before, the first show at the Whiskey. And then, we're working on dates now for the East Coast, and stuff like that. So we'll definitely be out, in like May, through the summer doing shows. And I just can't wait to, be out playing live with Ted and Brian, because that's the thing with those two guys. It's like, we're such good friends and we just have so much fun just hanging out. So,
well, you got 3 great live musicians there. Scotty Dunbar from Boston, Mass. I want to thank you for being here on the show. Scotty, great solo artist and also a member of the D in DMK. And Scotty, thanks so much for being here. We look forward to the DMK stuff coming out, and I hope people catch your solo act on the road too.
All right, thank you so much, and thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. And, thank you guys for your support. You just rock. So, and it's always good seeing you at shows, too. So, but thank you so much. I really, really appreciate your support with the DMK stuff and the solo stuff. You rock.
Scotty Dunbar, everybody. Scotty, thanks, man.
Thank you, brother.